let's see how far we can get today. We'll start out with the light gray, and then we'll do a color change, and then we'll do the dark gray stuff. Now, I realize that this is like a lot of other scenes that we've had, but you know, there's just only so many ways that I can change this up. I don't think I'm going to be needing too much for just this little bit here, especially being as we're only doing the one side. And I just realized that I forgot to get my soapy water to put this in. Oh, that's okay, those pipettes are cheap. I think they worked out to about 13 cents a piece or something. Uh-oh. I guess I got that out of your field of view there for a minute. Sorry about that. You didn't miss a whole lot. Okay, that's it for the light. Now, I just about forgot this. I do believe I may have put it on a little bit too thick. I didn't realize I was, but looking at it now, it's, well, we'll see what happens when it dries. Okay, let's try not to overdo it here. And the last one. Okay, we can take a close look at these later after they're completely dry. This is the one that I'm kind of worried about. In the meantime, we'll just clean up the airbrush. Enough time has passed now that this paint has shrunk as much as it's going to, if you can call it shrinking. Anyway, pieces like this ladder, I don't need to flip them over because they're not going to be seen from the other side. And another case of where I think it's going to be okay. There might be a little bit of brass showing from the underside where it's stuck on the tape, but I think the treads and the rails and everything in the I think it's completely covered. Looks good to me anyway. Now, the piece that I was worried about. Let me just reposition the camera here. Now, when I had finished spraying this piece, I could actually see the paint up near the top edge, slumping, you might say. But once again, I was lucky and I got away with it. It is a little bit on the heavy side. Well, for sure I won't have to do a second coat. And notice here, you can see where the CA glue was on that little part, you know, where it's sort of built up. Let's check some of the others here. That one's not too bad. Now, once again, you got to remember we're looking at this the way nobody is going to actually view the that part. It looks huge there on your screen, but it's only about 1/2 inch square. It's about the size or less of a sugar cube. Anyway, well, you can sort of see where it was slumping if I get this shadow just right up at the top. But I think we got away with it. Oh, one of the viewers made the comment, and he thought that possibly that little wheel that has to mount in this hole at the top of that flange, he thought maybe that should be going on the inside. And that makes a lot more sense. But let's just check Stefan's drawing, because I did check the manual just a minute ago, and the manual clearly shows it being put on the outside of the box, or crow's nest. Okay, we're back to the first one again. And I realize it's very pixelated because we're just zoomed right in, but as near as I can tell, the wheel is on the outside of the box. Maybe that wheel wasn't used the same way as a ship's wheel was. Maybe you didn't grab onto those little knobs that you see sticking out of it. I don't know. Anyway, Andy thought that it was an indicator for ships close by to know what position the rudder was at. Okay, actually, this is the best picture or drawing. Now, I know that I seem to be beating this to death here, but I found another drawing on page 69. And this is the position where that wheel would be of most value to you if you were following along and it was just slightly ahead of you, or you know, at a position like that, and it was to suddenly turn in front of you and you didn't notice that it was going to do that. You can see the wheel here. I'll move in on it just a little bit. This is the piece that blew off on us. And the side we're looking at here is the side that got sort of painted. I think if I paint this side, do a good job on it, come in from an acute angle, make sure that I get the, I think it'll look okay, in other words. It's really hard to tell the difference. That sky gray is almost the exact same shade of gray as the plastic. So why paint anything, right? Well, the reason I do it is because the flat gray paint that I'm spraying on there, even though it's the same shade of gray as the plastic, it sort of helps the part to lose that plastic look. And a good thing about it is that in the event that the plastic does show through a little bit, you don't really notice it. Unless, of course, you slip on a super macro or something, but who's going to do that? Only person I know is that crazy Canadian that lives in Winnipeg. Now, I had 2 errands that I had to run today, both important, one this morning and one this afternoon. And unfortunately, that really cut into valuable model making time. So we didn't get quite as much done as I would have liked. But all being well, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll be getting some of these parts glued onto the mast. Thanks for watching.